Thank you for joining Time with the Dietitian and the first nutrition program for the year. Thank you for joining. You might want to share the link once again to your WhatsApp platform. Share the link. Let's share the link once again and invite people to come and learn. We are here to learn, unlearn, and relearn. We are here to know new things, adjust our old ways of doing things, and live here as better informed individuals who are going to make the necessary changes in our lives and in our health. So you might want to share the link and invite someone. We thank God so much for today and for giving us life, granting us the opportunity to be here. This is the first program for the year, as I said earlier. In Time with the Dietitian is a nutrition education program organized by the Wellness Center, aimed to provide quality, evidence-based nutrition information to the general public to enable us live healthy lives and prolong our days as well. So you are all welcome to today's meeting. And this is the first meeting for the year. Our theme for this year is healthy eating. So throughout the year, we'll be bringing topics that talks about healthy eating in general. So let's prepare ourselves for the year. The year is packed, so you don't want to miss any meeting. Every month, we will come your way with interesting topics that we believe will help our lives, will help improve our lives, our family, and even people around us. So make it a date not to miss any of our meetings for this year, because trust me, you will leave well informed and you will not regret you not regret you joined the meeting, sorry. So today our discussion is a very interesting topic. I don't know if you have seen the flyer earlier. If you have seen the flyer earlier, it's something that is very interesting and I believe it's also timely for us to discuss this, because a lot of us are corporates. I believe that before the day's discussion, we will know that we are actually corporates or doing the wrong thing in this regard. And it's something that concerns all of us, if not as our family, our immediate family, our children, somebody in our circle will benefit from this evening's discussion. So this evening, our topic is nutrition for desk jobs. Nutrition for desk jobs. So we are here to know how best we can eat healthy amidst our busy schedule. I meet a lot of people and they say, Madam, please, I don't have time to eat. I don't have time to eat. I don't even know what to eat. And this evening, we are privileged to have a resource person here who is coming to take us through what is it we need to know about this so that we can all live better lives. So a resource person for this afternoon's discussion is a nutrition scientist, if there is anything like that. So he's a scientist, he's a researcher, and he's passionate about food and nutrition and healthy living in general. So he has a foundation in maternal nutrition, dietary pattern, and nutritional epidemiology. He holds an MPhil in human nutrition and dietetics and a bachelor's degree in food science and technology, both from Afrakoma University of Science and Technology, where his research focused on maternal nutrition and its impact on congenital health risks. So a resource person has experience in clinical nutrition, food science, and public health intervention. That makes him a very good fit for this afternoon's discussion. So he has also worked as a graduate assistant at K University and is a nutrition dietetics intern at Ejuso Government Hospital. His research interests span non-communicable diseases, obesity, and workplace nutrition, making him well-versed in practical dietary strategies for diverse populations. He has presented his work at international nutrition conferences and has publications under peer review. He's also passionate about bridging science with real-world application and is committed to promoting evidence-based nutrition strategies to improve individual and community health outcomes. So our resource person this afternoon is very loaded. I believe from the introduction, we know that he's not a small person. So let's relax, let's mute so our background doesn't interfere, and let's pay attention to whatever we are about discussing here. And afterwards, we will have the opportunity to ask our questions. Audi, please, if you are on the line, we are ready for you. Audi, please, you are muted. Hello, Audi. So our dietitian is still trying to join the line, but whilst we wait for his line to connect, nutrition for Dex job is something that we all need to be aware of due to the current rise in non-communicable diseases. And I believe that we cannot make excuses to live healthy. I think that healthy living and healthy eating has always been an afterthought. We will all find our place, do whatever we want to do before we consider health. But I always ask my patients, so once you wake up in the morning and you are working the whole day, what do you expect to supply the energy for you? Do you think the energy will drop from somewhere? It doesn't. And I think that this year, as part of our resolutions, if we have already made resolutions and if we didn't include eating healthy as part, I think that we need to go back to our diaries, our book, and just check again. Just reconsider our decisions for this year and include the aspects of eating healthy and living healthy, because it's the only thing that sometimes money can't buy. So let's be mindful of our day-and-day activities to make sure that we are eating healthy, we are living healthy as much as possible, because we can't compromise on our health. A lot more people have very busy schedules and so are unable to meet their health needs. And because of that, they resort to eating out frequently. And we know that eating out frequently too is associated to either high fats, high sodium, or high sugars intake. And so we need to plan our meals ahead, make sure that the meals we are taking are healthy, and if we are sourcing from a place, we are making sure that it's from a healthy place as much as possible. That we don't have control over that, but at least the ones we can manage, let's intentionally manage. Yes, let's not leave it to chance. The ones we can manage, let's intentionally manage and make sure that it's healthy. Right. So our dietitian has joined us, so I'll leave the floor to him. Then afterwards we can all bring our questions. But whilst he is talking, you can just type your questions in the chat box. Thank you very much. Audi, please, we are ready for you. Okay, so our dietitian is still trying to join us. Okay, finally he's here. Audi, please, we are ready for you.
Okay,
Thank
please.
you.
I'm sharing my slide. Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Audi.
Okay, please, I hope you can see my slide.
Yes, please, we can.
Okay, so today we we are going to look at nutrition for desk jobs. My name is Samuel. Okay, so desk jobs have led to an increase in sedentary lifestyle in recent times. And then the sedentary work environment affects health negatively, especially posing a significant health risks, including obesity, metabolic disorders, mental fatigues, and then skeletal issues. In addition to sedentary work, poor dietary habits that mostly happens in such working environment is skipping meals, excessive caffeine consumption, unhealthy snacking, which can worsen these health concerns. However, proper nutrition plays a critical role in supporting energy levels, maintaining focus, preventing weight gain, and reducing the risks of chronic diseases. So today's presentation, I'm going to explore how to optimize nutrition for desk job, covering meal planning, hydration, snacking, and suitable eating habits that enhance well-being in the workplace. So one of the most important things we have to look at here is breakfast meal. And it's often referred to as the most important meal of the day. Why is it so? Breakfast, it's needed for maintaining sustained energy and focus throughout the day. In the sense that if you skip breakfast in the morning, you are likely to result in then mid-morning energy crashes due to low-level blood sugar levels. Because when you wake up in the morning, the activities you do till you get to work by 8, 9, at that time your sugar levels would have dropped, and you need your breakfast. So skipping breakfast it's not the best. It is important that you always have your breakfast around the periods of 7:30 to 8. You should have your breakfast. Also, it leads to poor concentration and reduced cognitive performance. Then now, one of the issues with skipping breakfast is that you later overeat during the day, and this is where the problem is. So if you skip your breakfast, it means you are working and you are hungry. Then during the day, around in the evening, around 5, 6, 7 p.m., that is when you feel very hungry. And in that point, you eat a lot. And once you are doing that, then it's leading to weight gain. And the weight gain would definitely, you are incurring the risk of obesity, which will ultimately would have issues with cardiovascular diseases such as hypertension and then type 2 diabetes as well. So breakfast meal is very, very, very important for desk workers. It's something that we cannot skip. So when we are talking about breakfast meals, what are we talking about? An ideal breakfast meal should contain a complex carbohydrate where we have options like whole grains, oats, like we have other options like fonio, millet, brown rice, water, sorghum. These all options contain high fiber, and they are high fiber porridges that can help you during the day. So that's an example of complex carbohydrates you can have in the morning. Also, your breakfast should have proteins. At least you should have a chicken or a salmon. The salmon is fine, the chicken is fine. However, in preparing your chicken, make sure that you remove the skin before you process it. I'm saying that when you get your chicken on your chopping board, remove the skin before you process it. Once you remove the skin, then there is no issue with eating the chicken. All right, so you should also make sure that your milk that you are taking in has low fat, or is a low-fat milk. So when you are buying the milk from the shelf in the supermarket, kindly check the label. Then when you check the label, look for low-fat milk. Low-fat milk. So the low-fat milk is appropriate for your breakfast. Then also, we should consider healthy fats. And in the healthy fats, also when you are purchasing your oil, you make sure that at the labeling, you check if the fat is a monounsaturated fat or a polyunsaturated fat. You can go for any of that. But fat with high levels of trans fat and saturated fat, you should avoid it. Then most importantly, you should have your fiber in your breakfast. So when you have your, let's say you have your porridge, you have your bread, which is a wheat bread, then you have your chicken or your salmon, then you have your milk, your low-fat milk. Then you should cut vegetables and add to the breakfast. This is why in the next slide, I'll talk about the importance of having fiber-rich foods in our diet. So we should have an ideal breakfast in the morning, but it's not only porridges. If you want to take other staple foods, you can also do that. You can also do that. It depends on what you want to eat.
Dietitian is still having, and he will join shortly. I believe that even the few things he shared so far is getting us to think through our lives and see where we fall short. So he was talking about the importance of breakfast foods.
All right, sorry, I think I lost my connection.
Yes, RD. Please, you can continue.
Okay, yes. So I was talking about fiber. In most instances, we hear that fiber, you should include fiber in your diet when you have issues like diabetes or hypertension. But that's actually not the case. Fiber should be an important part of your diet because it plays a critical role in maintaining, first, your digestive health, then most importantly, regulating blood sugar levels, and then promoting long-term well-being. That's because a fiber diet can help prevent many health issues that are commonly associated with sedentary jobs, such as constipation, weight gain, fatigue, and metabolic imbalances. So when you sit down for long, it slows down digestion and bowel movement, increasing the risk of constipation. So fiber would serve as, for example, prebiotic fiber, which we can find in banana, onion, garlic. They help to feed on good bacteria, which generally support healthy microbiome. Also, the fiber help us to maintain a healthy weight. How do you maintain a healthy weight? Because when you add the fiber to your diet, it helps you to reduce the portions that you are taking. So, for example, if we are taking 3 or 4 soup ladles of ladles of rice, okay, when the fiber comes in, then the fiber makes you to get full early, and then you reduce that quantity. So in essence, the fiber helps you to maintain a healthy weight by reducing the portion sizes of our food. And because as Ghanaians, most of our foods are staple starches, then we need to reduce the portion sizes. So the fiber comes in to help check your weight as well. Then, most importantly, it regulates blood sugar levels and prevents energy crashes. Yes, so refined carbohydrates and sugary snacks lead to a rapid spike in blood glucose levels. However, when you take fiber, it helps to slow glucose absorption, preventing energy dips and keeping concentration steady. So that is why we are advocating for fiber in our diet, because it helps to control the glucose levels, which is very, very important to help to regulate the insulin levels and reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes. So you don't have to be in the condition before you start to add fiber to your diet. That should be part of your main meal. That should be part of your main meal. So we should try as much as possible to incorporate fiber into our diet. In our breakfast, we should have our vegetables. In our lunch, we should have our vegetables. In our supper, we should have our vegetables. Then we should try as much as possible to avoid refined carbohydrate. For example, there is a popular porridge on the commercial market that people buy in the morning. The Hausa Kuku. We always say that it's a refined carbohydrate. They take off all the fiber before they process it. So you can eat your Hausa Kuku, but it's preferred that you prepare it at home where you have your fiber to the porridge. Okay, so let us try as much as possible to avoid refined carbohydrates, and then taking more fiber-rich foods. Then one important thing we have to look at is snacking. Snacking at work. Snacking at work. Yeah, so we have to take a look at snacking at work because most people will come to the hospital. You ask them that, what do you eat in the day? And they'll go like, I don't eat anything. I actually don't eat anything. I just take biscuits, I take toffees, I take this, I take drinks and all that. And they feel that taking biscuits and then the other candies they are talking about is not food. But the issue is that snacking you are taking is wrong. And that can, in the next slide, I'll talk about issues with bad snacking and what it can do to you. So snacking is important. Why? Because it helps to maintain blood sugar, stable blood sugar levels throughout the day. It prevents overeating during main meals, then to boost your mental alertness and focus. So in snacking, we are looking at the right way of snacking. What are the best snacks for desk jobs? So we are looking at protein-rich snacks, like we have nuts, almond seeds, we have yogurt, but yogurt, we go for unsweetened yogurt, not sweet yogurt, unsweetened yogurt. We have boiled eggs. Also, you can take fruits. You can take your fresh fruits as a snack. We have dark chocolate, nuts, apple slides, granules, mixed nuts, all that. So we have all these healthy snacks that we can take. Now let's look at snacks to avoid. Snacks to avoid: donuts, candies, pastries, chips, processed foods, noodles, flavored chips. All these unhealthy snacks definitely will lead to sugar spikes, and especially sugar sweetened beverages and energy drinks. We should be cautious when looking at drinks that we want to take or beverages. We should try as much as possible to reduce sugar sweetened beverages. We should try as much as possible to reduce sugar sweetened beverages, because when taking the sugar sweetened beverages, it leads to a rapid spike in your glucose levels, which can ultimately lead to the risks of type 2 diabetes. So let's look at our snacking as well. So in snacking too, we should look at the time and the portion. So if you have your breakfast at 8, around in about 2-3 hours, you can take your snack. However, the snack shouldn't be another main meal. Okay, you should look at the portions that you are taking as well, so that it does not affect your lunch, which should be in the afternoon around 12:30. It should not affect that. Yes, and then towards 3 p.m. there, you can take a snack or fruit or something. But let us also look at portion size. So somebody say that, okay, we encourage that we take fruit. Then then you hear that, oh, I sat down and I took 6 mangoes. That is not snacking. Okay, you cannot take snack, or I took 6 fingers of banana. That's not snacking. Okay, so in snacking too, we have to look at the portions that you are taking. You cannot take 6 fingers of banana saying that you are snacking. Okay, definitely that is also going to lead to sugar spikes. So in snacking, let's ask, for example, if you want to take banana, 2 fingers of banana, it's okay. As I can take 1 mango. So let us also look at the portions when we are taking our snack. We should not overload our plate. We should not overload our plate. So the key thing in actually looking at your diet should be moderation. Too much of everything is bad, as it has been said already. Moderation is very important. So in whatever you are taking, is about being moderate about it. So I've realized that it's not much particular about what you are eating necessarily, but the moderation, the quantity that you are taking, All right, so I brought bioactive compounds because it's of much importance, especially when we are looking at sedentary environment. So bioactive compounds they are natural substances that are found in food that offer health benefits beyond the basic nutrition. These compounds help reduce very something important here: oxidative stress, inflammation, metabolic disorders that are very much beneficial to health desk workers or sedentary environment, because we sit for a long time. Issues of oxidative stress and inflammation should be something that you should look at. Oxidative stress and inflammation, something that you should look at. Mind you, oxidative stress have improved to link to diabetes as well. So type 2 diabetes. So we should look at oxidative stress. So that's why I brought bioactive compounds. So we have the polyphenols, the flavonoids, the carotenoids, omega-3 fatty acids, probiotics, and prebiotics. So looking at some of our local bioactive compounds, green teas, dark chocolate, citrus fruits, our cocoa powder. Then I think I brought our sobolo, the hibiscus. Our sobolo, it's fine. Then we have this one, lemongrass. Lemongrass is a bioactive compound that's is actually good. I think people know it as fever drew lemongrass. It has this scented smell it's very nice. So you can have all that as your bioactive compound, and also we have beetroot, which is very important. So you can have these as beverage or drinks that you take in for your snacking, and yogurt as well, as I've mentioned, unsweetened yogurt. So let's pay particular attention to our bioactive compound. However, we should also look at the portion size again. I've had people coming in with a lot of issues relating to bioactive compounds because they take too much bioactive compounds. And let us try as much as possible not to, add the bioactive compounds together. For example, somebody would have lemongrass, add turmeric, add beetroot, add this one, pepper, all those things. You cannot add the compounds like that. Then you are putting pressure on your liver. So please let us try as much as possible to also look at how we are taking the compounds as well. So the beetroots, the turmeric, the lemongrass, the sobolo, they're all good. But in taking it, we should be careful about the concentration that we are also taking as well. Then I've seen that in recent time, people are propagating that we blend moringa, dandelion, beetroot to drink. The issue is that when you blend these bioactive compounds, you increase the concentration, though it is good for inflammation or oxidative stress, as I've mentioned. But once you blend them together, it increases the concentration of the compounds. Thus, it's going to put pressure on your liver to detoxify it. So in essence, the more you do that, then you are putting a lot of pressure on your liver. And with time, then you are going to have issue with your liver enzymes. So we should try as much as possible that we cut our beetroots, dandelion, moringa, these things into our vegetables and add it to our main meal than to blend them and take or blend them and drink. We should try as much as possible to reduce the blending. Or if you still want to take it as a blend, then you should try as much as possible to reduce the concentration, because the more you eat or you take the blended bioactive compounds, then you are putting pressure on your liver to detoxify them. So let us take a critical look at that. However, I want to emphasize again that it is very important for oxidative stress and inflammation, especially in the sedentary environment. Yes, so one important thing is hydration. Hydration is key. Hydration is key. So to hydrate during the day, the best option is that you have a water bottle, or you take the water in bottle where you sip, you put down, you sip, you put down, you sip. In that way, in the day, you can take the 6 to 7 bottles we are talking about. Yes, but if you try to take it, let's say you take a 500 ml at once, that will be difficult. But if we practice the habit of moving with our water bottles where we can sip in a short while, then you sip, then that will make it easier for you to hydrate. So remember that dehydration leads to fatigue, headaches, and reduced cognitive performance. So let us make sure that our hydration is at the optimum level. So from morning till evening, you should make sure you have covered at least your 6 glasses of water or your 6 bottles of water. All right, so let us also look at other physical activity that we can do during work time. First, we should understand that apart from looking at the healthy diet you are taking, your physical activity level is very, very important to improve your general health. So every 30 to 60 minutes, you can stand and stretch. Also, you can take short walks during lunch breaks. Is very, very important. Then we use the staircase instead of the elevator. And either before you come to work or after work, we should try as much as possible to at least do a 35 minutes or 30 minutes breaks walk daily. Every day we should have at least 30 to 35 minutes walk either in the morning or in the evening. So to make it easy for you, you can track your physical activity by using mobile apps. For example, we have the Google Fit. Google has this physical activity called Google Fit. You can download it. The Apple too has Apple Health, where you can download, then you input your age, then your current weight, your height. They will give you the number of steps to take in the day. This is very important. So when you are working, just take your phone along or your device along. It will help you track the activities you make in the day. So, for example, if you take the Google Fit, if you are walking, they realize that it's a circle, then they start moving around. So during the day or at the end of the day, we should make sure that at least we have covered the circles for the day. So our physical activity is of very much important, either in the morning or after work. Either of them can help. All right, so let us look at meal planning, preparing tips. So yes, so you want to eat healthy, but we have to prepare for it, because then I would also say that coming to work without your meal and relying on commercial vendors, it's also a problem. This is because you cannot control what they are selling, because the vendor on the market is there for profit, not for your health. The vendor is there for a profit, not for the health. I remember I spoke to one woman who sells a certain food, and she was actually obese, and she was telling me that she prepares the food and sell, but she doesn't take the food she sells. And I asked her why. He said, oh, she knows that the oil she is using is not good, but because of profit, she has to do that. But she herself doesn't take the food. You understand? And and that tells me that that's actually what they do. It's about profit, not your health. So we should try as much as possible to reduce buying commercial foods, and then let's take to our home cooked meals. So to prepare for your meal to come to work, I think that we should try batch cooking and store the meals. If you try to cook, let's say before work in the morning, it can be tedious and actually not possible. So we can try to cook and pack our meals during the weekend, so that once you wake up in the morning and you are done with your physical activity or whatever you are doing, you can use about 30 minutes to prepare your food and package them to work. So we should also make sure we prepare healthy snacks, then use storage containers. So you pack the meals in airtight containers to maintain the freshness, then you put it in your lunch bag and you bring it to work. So there was a conversation about the issue of non-communicable diseases, NCDs, in Ghana, especially in urban centers, because of the nature of sedentary work and environment. And I was saying that we cannot stop people from going to work from 8 to 5. We cannot stop people from going to work and closing late, because we have other confounding factors, such as the time to close at work, the traffic issues, road networks. These are all things that affect the time you get home. So we cannot avoid that people get home at 8 p.m. That cannot be done. People will still go to work and get home at 7, 8 p.m. But the issue is that when you get home at 7, 8 p.m. it is not recommended that you eat at that time, because once you eat at 8, you are going to sleep around 9, 10, 11. which would definitely lead to weight gain and also issues of type 2 diabetes and hypertension as well. So closing late at work cannot be undone. However, we can plan around it. How do we plan around it? So we can package our food in our storage containers, but keeping the food from morning to evening will be another problem. So we should try as much as possible if we could get storage conditions at work and then microwaves that can help us heat our foods and all that. Then we can take our breakfast, lunch, and supper before we get home. If we don't plan around it to eat our breakfast, lunch, supper at home, then going home around 7, 6:30, 8 p.m. to eat, it's not going to help. Actually, it's very, very, very dangerous to do that over a long period of time, especially when the ages is around 35, 40 upwards. It's not the best. So we should try as much as possible to plan around our lives to know how possible best we can get our food warm to eat during the day. Because at least the least time you can eat in the evening should be around 5:30. Anytime above that, it's going to cause problem. Unless you are saying that in the night you work and you don't sleep. So let's say you have a night shift and you do not sleep, that's fine. But if you are going to sleep around 10, 11, then it is not advisable. And also, we should try as much as possible to limit sugary and processed foods. Excessive intake of white bread, pastries, fried snacks, which are easy to go buy or to take to work, should be limited, because it would definitely lead to issues of sugar levels and hypertension. Yes, so that is it for optimal nutrition for desk workers. I'm open to questions, then we continue.
Thank you very much, Aldi. Thank you very much. You said everything, and it's such an insightful information you've given us there. Thank you very much for your time and your expertise. The floor is open for any question. If you have any question, you can unmute and tell us your question, and RD would answer you. You can as well put it in the chat box and we will read and answer appropriately. Please, are there any questions? Please, let's keep the questions coming in. So, RD, please, I think they've sent questions, so I will leave it for you to read and just answer, or you can just answer them.
Okay, so the first question is, what's the appropriate time for breakfast? So ideally, from the time we wake up, from any time from 7 to 8 a.m. is fine for your breakfast. Anytime from 7 to 8 a.m. is fine for your breakfast. Yes, so the second question, if you are eating a bit later in the evening, if you eat around 8 p.m. and you can stay till after 3 hours before you sleep, is this also bad? Yes, so if you are eating at 3 p.m., okay, the issue at 8 p.m., the issue is that the food will take about 4 hours to digest. You understand? So you cannot eat and sleep, eat at 8 and sleep at 3 hours time. Okay, so if you are eating at 8, then you are looking at after 4 hours, and even after you are done eating, are you going to do any physical activity? That's the issue, though. So if you eat and there is no physical activity, and the next thing is that you eat, you sit down and watch your phone, a movie, TikTok, anything that will keep you sitting, then your body is not going to make use of all that you've eaten. Then you are going to have issues because your sugar levels are going to go up in the evening because you're not doing anything. So that if you want to say that, then the issue is that, can you keep up when you are done eating? Can you keep up a physical activity for the 4 hours period, or can you do something before you sleep? Probably then that's not the issue. Is that you can't do that because you've gone to work and you are back and you are tired. When you eat at 8, the probability that you sleep at 10, 11 is high. And the probability that when you eat at 8, you will sit down to watch a movie, watch TikTok, make a call or something is high. So then eating at 8 is not appropriate. Okay, so please, you mentioned fiber is good. The porridge we make for babies, we remove the fiber for easy consumption. What is your take on it? So with regards to babies, you'd want to specify their age. Okay, you want to specify their age. However, you should know that the babies cannot digest the fiber and they are now growing. You should relax and you should, how do you call it? Relax for them for now. You should give them something that they can digest easily. Then as they are growing and now they become, they start to walk and they become kids actually where they can eat, then you can start off them with the fiber so that it become part of their main meals. But for babies, it is not advisable because it can cause other problems as well. So no, it's not advisable. Is it good to eat fast, and how should we break it? Yes, it's not good to eat fat. Why?
Please,
Because
the question,
okay, I'm listening.
Please, the question is it good to fast?
Okay. All right, so yeah, if you are fasting for spiritual purposes, that's fine. But if you are fasting for or fasting with the idea of intermittent fasting to prevent the issue of weight gain, or you are fasting because you want to drop your sugar levels, then you are doing the wrong thing. That information, this morning I was telling someone that the misinformation when it comes to nutrition and health is too much in our system because we actually don't regulate what goes out. So if you are fasting for spiritual purposes, that is fine. But if you are fasting because you want to address weight gain issues or sugar level issues, then it is not right. Why? If you want weight gain, if you want to address weight gain issues, then now what does the fasting do? Yes, indeed, when you fast, you are going to break down some fat cells. That is fine. However, when you are breaking the fast, because you have been hungered for a long time, the probability that you eat a lot more than what is needed will definitely lead to you accumulating more fat than when you are actually eating well. So what do I advocate for when you want to address weight gain? You should make sure that you have your 3 main meals. 3 main meals. You eat your breakfast, you lunch, your supper. You eat your breakfast, your lunch, and your supper. However, you should have a tailored dietary plan where you actually are eating the specific dietary needs that you need for your breakfast, your lunch, your supper. Then we look at your physical activity as well. So the issue of weight gain is very simple. It's looking at your intake against what you do or your expenditure. So your intake against your expenditure. So when you come to see us, you can look at your activities. Then we'll calculate what you need as your total energy expenditure. Then get you a detailed plan for you. You understand? Yes, it's better than trying to fast. And also, people fast because they think that can help with glucose levels. Fasting does not help with glucose levels because when you don't eat, you know that your body primarily needs glucose to function. What happens is that there's a process called gluconeogenesis, which your body is going to get glucose from other sources such as your protein and your fat. And you cannot control that process. So that will ultimately also lead to higher sugar levels as well. So it depends on what you are doing with the fasting. Yes. The next question. As a desk worker who never practiced these health eating habits, is there a way of losing the excess fats taking into consideration the time available. Yes, there is always a starting point. Yes, there is always a starting point. So you are saying that you never practice the habits. However, you want to lose. Yes. So if you want to lose I think I've touched on that. If you want to lose your excess fat, then the first thing is that we must get you a personalized dietary plan. That's the first one. The second point, we'd have to encourage you to improve your physical activity levels. That's 2. Then I would say that it takes time. Losing fat is one of the most interesting things, because when you lose your fat cells, it doesn't disappear. It just deflates. It's there. Yes. So it will take time before it would happen. So in recent times, I've heard that people say, "Oh, take this drink. When you drink, your fat cells will disappear or your fat will disappear." It's not true. You can take those pills, you can take those syrups, the fat will disappear in 3 months. But go and check the people who took it in exactly about another 3 to 6 months, they become twice the weight that they were. Why? Because it is not sustainable. So to have a sustainable weight management, then we have to look at the proper ways to do it, which I've mentioned already. Okay, so please could you throw more light on the bulk food preparation and storage? Okay, so yeah. So I was saying that you can prepare. So let's say the first thing is that you should have a plan for what you want to eat during the week. That's the first thing. If you don't have a plan, then it's going to be difficult to know what you are preparing. So the first thing is that you should have a plan for what you are going to eat for the week. Then when you have the plan, then you have your budget on what you are going to buy in the market. You go to the market, you buy your ingredients and everything, you bring it. Then I'm saying this, or you are doing this during the weekend. Then you start. So if you know that you are going to eat this on Monday, this Tuesday, once you have the plan, then you start at least preparing some of the food that will take a longer period for you to prepare. You start preparing it during the weekend. Then you store it in your refrigerator to make sure that it doesn't go bad. Then during the day, or let's say, so if it's Monday and whatever you are preparing, then you take what you started preparing already. I'm sure it will take you about 30 minutes to 40 minutes to complete the cooking. That is much easier than waking up to start the whole cooking process again. Yes. So you make sure that your fridge is intact and is working. Then you at least start the cooking process to a certain point where the rest of the cooking process, it can be achieved in about 30 to 40 minutes. Then it will be easy for you to take your food to work. So that is what I meant by that. Yeah, so if you are used to eating heavy meals like banku and soup, how do you incorporate vegetable? That's a very good question. Okay, so the first thing is that nobody is against you eating heavy meals. I said that the first key that we have to look at in healthy eating is moderation. Moderation. So it's not necessarily about the banku first. It's about how moderate the banku is. So, like, depending, I'm not seeing you, but depending on your weight, your size, we can say that one fixed size of banku is fine. Then your soup. So when you are taking banku, how do you incorporate vegetables? Okra. Your okra is there. So your okra soup, you cut your okra, you do your vegetable, your okra stew. And when you are doing your okra stew, you can add your garden eggs in there. You can have all other vegetables that you want to do. Then the stew or your soup that you are taking should be more than the banku, because the banku is staple and would definitely cause problems. So your small banku with your plenty soup that has your okra, that has all your vegetables. So I'm not saying that you stop your banku eating, but you should make sure that your soups has the okra, it has all the vegetable. We have this one, ayoyo. The ayoyo leaves are there. You can add the ayoyo leaves, your okra, the other leaves that you can add to it. So you make sure that your soup or your stew that you're adding to the banku is a lot and has a lot of vegetables. Next question. What of those who eat but do not see any changes in weight? Okay, so you are eating, but what if you are not eating the quantity that you're supposed to eat? That's the point. So you can eat, but I'm sure by the time I'll go through an assessment with you, I'll realize that your intake is actually smaller than your expenditure. So you expend a lot of energy, but the intake is low. So that could be one of the issues. We can look at other confounding factors, but the main issue is that the intake is probably lower than your expenditure. So that one would have to look at you personally, then give you a personalized plan to get you on the weight that you want to get to. Isn't it advisable to eat early digestible foods that are not to eat at all when you get home late? Yes. So your main meal, so I said that you have 3 main meals: breakfast, lunch, supper. Yes. Remember, I spoke about snacking. So when you have taken your supper around the period of 5 to 5:30, and you get home and you are hungry, you are hungry around 8, 9 p.m., then you don't take in, so it's not necessarily digestible food, but you take in a snack, you take in a snack that's a healthy snack. For example, your fruit is there. So your 2 fingers of banana is there, your 1 orange is there. Or you should take in something that has high fiber, but in a little proportion. That's the point. So do not go to bed hungry. Note, do not go to bed hungry. That's good. Do not go to bed hungry. However, when you are, unless you are feeling extremely hungry, then you can take in a healthy snack that has high fiber. You can take in your fruit, and that is fine. But do not go to bed hungry. But your question looked to me like you cannot eat at 5:30, but you want to eat around 7, 8. Still, the issue is not even about the issue of digestibility, but it's about the issue of not doing anything after eating, and we are going to sleep, which would definitely lead to blood sugar spikes. Yeah. So the next question. Is it healthy to be eating stew and soup for a number of days? Yes. So when you are packaging your stews and your soups, okay, you should package it in small containers or small packaging packaging stuff, that when you pick the one that you want to eat, or when you are coming to eat, you hit that portion that you want to eat and you eat it and finish it. Okay, so in storing our food in our fridge, you should be able to store them in small sizes. Okay, so if you store them in small sizes, than to store it as a whole, then you put it down, you put it. No. We are going to have issues with microbial activity. We are going to have issues with losing the nutrients as well. So we can package our soup and our stews in small quantities to put in our fridge. Yeah. So I think that's all the questions. If any other question, then I'll proceed to that.
Thank you very much, RD, and thank you very much for addressing all the questions as well. And I like what RD said, that we cannot tell the source of the nutrition information we have access to online, in person, on TV, and a whole lot. But you can be assured of evidence-based nutrition information on time with the dietitian every month. So make it a point not to miss next month's meeting. Look forward to the flyer on your pages on our website. And you can also follow KNUST Wellness Center on all social media handles. Please, if there are no more questions, please, are there any questions? Right. So thank you very much once again, Arby. Thank you for your time and the opportunity to hear from you. Next month meeting will surely come off, so please let's look out for the flyers as well. Thank you very much for making time with us. And know that if you have any nutritional concerns, you can just walk into the Kenya University Wellness Center. You have a dietitian to address all your needs. And Ardy, please, if you can put your contact information in the chat box so that if anybody wants to reach you, the person can have access to you. Yeah. So please share your contact information with us. And the meeting is being recorded, so at the appropriate time, you will have access to the recording. So if you missed any of the section, you can go back and refresh your memory. Thank you so much for joining us today and have a lovely evening.